This is Public Pictures Theater, and tonight we're presenting Charade, directed by Stanley Donen, who is mostly known for musicals.
Did you know that 7 studios rejected the original screenplay written by Peter Stone?
No.
It was turned into a novel, actually, which was serialized in Redbook, which sparked interest from all 7 studios. How funny.
The film is so similar to Alfred Hitchcock's style that it's often called the best Hitchcock movie that Hitchcock never made.
And after this film, Cary Grant claimed that all he wanted to do was make another movie with Audrey Hepburn, which he never got to do.
I know, he tried to get her into Father Goose, and if you watch that movie, as good as it is, I think she could have made it even better. Universal Pictures failed to provide a proper copyright notice. They actually left the word copyright off the print, which means that when the film was released, it immediately went into the public domain.
And that's pretty unfortunate. Sit back, relax, and enjoy Charade.
Welcome back to Public Pictures Theater and our presentation of Charade. I'm Jim Cannon.
My name is James Lancaster.
And I'm Lemony Snicket.
Well, our panel wants to talk about Charade, and you might have already guessed we're playing some name games, because how many times does Cary Grant change his name during this film?
4 times, I believe
4 or 5.
4 times at least, besides the fact that he's also Cary Grant, and it's a lot of fun trying to figure out who he really is. I'm Jim Lenze.
My actual name is Donald Winzer.
And I'm Sarah Everett.
And we are Public Pictures Theater or something else. So let's talk about Charade, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The greatest Hitchcock film that Hitchcock never made. And it copies his style quite a bit. Stanley Donen was the director of Charade, and he was really known for musicals. What did you think about his take at a genre of thrillers and comedy?
Well, I was a big fan, actually. I hate it when movies take themselves too seriously, and I definitely don't think this is a picture that takes itself seriously throughout the whole thing. There are definitely serious scenes and moments that are like, whoa, okay, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill comedy. Like this is a thriller. But
Pretty nasty murders in this.
I really, I think it's great. And even the drowning and then the bath, like taking him and putting him in the bed, that's funny. You know, that's like, it's kind of, they're silly about it. They're making jokes. Cary Grant's like, oh, you know, whatever. Audrey Hepburn's like, you don't want to take a bath in that bath. And it's like, it's good. I like it. It's lighthearted.
Okay.
I thought it was really interesting because it was supposed to be comedic, and then I just saw it as really kind of scary for some of the murder scenes. And then when it was funny, it was kind of fake funny. Like anything with Walter Matthau, I just thought was hilariously overdone. In the sandwich scene,
everybody wants to do Walter Matthau's voice. Yeah, it's and
I just thought,
it seems like a fake voice, but it's really Walter Matthau doing Walter Matthau. Yeah.
And I kind of found it was almost unbelievable when it came to the end, because they made his character so funny that I didn't believe he could play straight by the end of the film, or straight scary by the end of the film.
Yeah, by the end of the film, he's a pretty dangerous guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm going to shoot Audrey Hepburn, which, you know, that'd be a hard thing to do because she's
so small.
So nice. Anyway, so let's talk about the gruesome murders. There's some really gruesome murders. I mean, so you have this lighthearted comedy. You have Cary Grant, who I think he works with the whole director as a musical thing, because when Cary Grant moves, it always seems like he's dancing. You know, he always moves so smoothly. And yet in the middle of this, you've got a pretty shocking scene with James Coburn suffocated with a bag over his head. You have George Kennedy in the bathtub, and you have the little guy getting his throat slit on the elevator.
Yeah.
So there's some pretty gruesome murders. Did you think that the intensity, that the gruesomeness of the murders worked with the movie, or do you think they worked against it?
I really liked it. I think it was perfect. I think it filled the balance well, because it had its silly moments, it had its turns, like, oh, the gun's a squirt gun, oh, it's good. I think, and it's important that there are scenes that have gravity in movies to keep them from just being floaty comedies and nothings. I like that.
What do you think, Sarah?
I thought it was really shocking. I didn't expect. I've seen this film before, but watching it again, I didn't realize how gruesome they were. But I agree with you that the balance was really nice. I thought the squirt gun gag at the beginning was a hilarious way to start the film, and it kind of made you think it was going a totally different direction than it actually went. But then it brought it back to that point when you had the gruesome murders. And it's not like there was a lot of blood. It was just a really shocking. You came in after it had already happened, so you'd seen the end result, and it was really graphic, but not too bloody or too gruesome.
Okay. So tell me, if you were going to be spies, we opened up with our name game, which we had a little fun with. What would your spy name be?
I'd have to go off something literary. I just think that's a really fun way to go. I think a lot about Notting Hill when she uses different cartoon names when she goes to hotels. And I think it'd be just kind of funny to reference something like that. So I'd have to pick something from a novel or a character from that.
All right.
I would pick, like, Alabaster DeWitt.
Alabaster DeWitt.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a believable name.
Yep, that's a believable name, yeah. I would write novels.
Yes.
Yep, people would be like, is that a pen name? Nope, that's his actual name. Nope, it's a fake name. I'm a spy.
And by the way, for the parents out there, young parents who might have children, if you name your child Alabaster, that is Latin for my child will have no friends. So this film's considered to be a comedy thriller. Do you think it's more comedy or more thriller?
Again, I think the balance is really there and important, and I think it's close. I'd say 60-40 comedy thriller.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like,
so
you got it.
60% comedy?
Yes.
Yeah.
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 40% thriller. Yep.
Okay, and that works for you.
Yes.
It's a weird combo, but I think it definitely works.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, on a scale of 1 to 10, give the movie a score. What would you give this movie? Let's be Rotten Tomatoes for a minute. We'll give it a score.
I would go 7, maybe 7.5.
I was gonna say,
That's pretty high.
I would
Yeah.
definitely do at least a 7.
Definitely a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because there are a lot of kind of original gags. Like, I hadn't seen before in a movie all the name gags. And honestly, the first time I saw it, and even the second time I saw it, I didn't remember the ending as well as it was.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the fact that, like, it really does kind of come out of nowhere. They're like, oh my goodness, mustache is evil. Like,
Right.
I really like, so yeah, definitely I would say 7.
So there were 2 surprises at the end of the film. You know, some people say, "Oh, what about the surprise ending?" I think there's actually 2 surprises. So
Yeah.
my first question to you: did you guess that it was the stamps?
No.
No.
Okay, so that really got you.
That
So
didn't
they-
even
got
cross
me.
my mind. It just,
Nope.
It's not something we think about in today's society
Right.
as something that would be, you could trade in for a lot of money. And it just was something that I didn't think of immediately, but once it happened, it made sense immediately.
Yeah.
I thought at first that it was going to be the pen because there's a very specific way they hold the pen, and they do it 2 times in the film. And I'm like, maybe it's the pen, because you know it's got to be something in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have the bag.
Right.
Like, this bag is important.
The bag is somehow.
But nowhere in my mind did I think, you know what? It's those stamps. Those stamps, man.
And I think that's really good. If you can put the MacGuffin right in front of the audience and have it there the entire time and say, we're all searching for this and we can't find it, but it's right there in front of us, I thought that was really, really great. The one problem I had with it was the little boy. They keep bringing this little boy back into this murder plot, right? Now, if your little one is abducted and held by
Yeah.
armed, dangerous men and you get the little boy back, you then don't say to Audrey Hepburn, you can still hang out with my son, right? You'd get him as far away from her and this current problem she's having as possible. But she's right back with after this whole kidnapping thing. They put the little boy back with her, and she's like, "Oh, by the way, here's some stamps. I probably won't need these. Go ahead. You know, they're in the bag full of things that we've been studying." That was I was kind of like, really?
She never really says, you know, oh yeah, your boy was kidnapped by 3 killers, one of which has a hook hand, and yeah, they're.
So you think she
kill
kept
me.
it from the mom?
Oh, she totally kept that from the mom.
She kept
Totally.
it from the mom. Okay, so Audrey Hepburn was lying too through this.
Definitely. Well, and again, it's important. Like, there's a semi-professional, at least, relationship between Cary Grant and the 3 evil men and Audrey Hepburn, because they can come together. They're all in the same hotel, for goodness sake. They're on the same floor. They can just go like, oh yeah, by the way, you can look at my room. I'll look at your room. You kidnapped this child. Okay, we'll take him back.
That was another thing, is when they were looking for the rooms, she kept the little boy with her, and she had an opportunity to get the kid out of there. They had already threatened to kill the kid, and I was like, wow, I know it's a comedy, but come on, you know, I've got an opportunity to save this little guy's life. I'm going to do it. Okay, the second surprise then at the end, of course, is Cary Grant and who he really is. So how about that? Did you catch that, or did that surprise you?
Oh, I was definitely surprised by that. Yeah, I think he plays it really well.
So you thought he was a crook?
I thought he was. I wasn't sure if he was a crook necessarily, because by the time he said, "Oh, I'm actually a thief," it's like there's another one. There's got to be one more. We got 10 more minutes. He's gonna be like a mild-mannered tourist or something, just caught up in this. That's honestly what I thought it was gonna be, like the opposite of the movie The Tourist. I don't know if any of you guys saw that. It's all right. It's kind of bad. Anyway, yeah, I kind of thought that's how it was gonna end, but no, that got me.
So that it got you too.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So how did you feel about him being there? Were you like, oh, that's funny, that's cool, I'm okay? And then she believes him one more time, and every time he changes name, she's like, I still like you and I still want to be with you.
Yep.
And I'm like, wow.
It's a testament to the charms of Cary Grant.
Okay, so let's talk about that, because I was curious about that, okay? Not so much your opinion, your opinion.
Yeah.
You can give an opinion, but I want your opinion. Cary Grant, is he still got it? Is he still a leading man?
In this film, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, you find him charming and everything?
Yes.
Okay, and you're not put off by the fact that he's 59 and she's 33.
I mean, when you put it like that, maybe a little bit, but he's so charismatic, and he's very sly. And I think about North by Northwest, and I like his character in that as well. He's very comedic, and he's kind of sarcastic, and I carry that over a little bit into Charade, and I really like that.
Okay.
In a person, I guess, and I like that in Cary Grant. So.
Let's remake this film. We're going to remake Charade today, and we need to cast it. Who would you cast, first of all, as Cary Grant?
Clooney.
Yeah, Clooney. It just makes sense.
Clooney?
Yeah.
Clooney.
All right, and as long as we're doing Clooney, we're going to keep the gray hair.
Keep the gray hair. No way we're.
Okay, and so then, do you cast a attractive leading lady who's also in her 50s, or do you go back to the 30s and
go back to the 30s.
Anne Hathaway, or who do we cast for Audrey?
That'd be good. I didn't even think
of
that.
Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
I was thinking, Anne Hathaway actually.
That could work.
Anne Hathaway and George Clooney. So Hollywood, which is undoubtedly watching
this.
Public Pictures Theater.
Please hire me.
Okay, hire these two, I'm happy. And we would like you to remake Charade, but we would like you to cast George Clooney and Anne Hathaway as the leads. So that'll work.
Now, for the villains, though, they're equally as important, I think.
They're equally as important. George Kennedy, who played Hookman, is one of the great character actors that Hollywood has ever known. If you really understand George Kennedy's filmography, he plays everything. He can play scientist, he can play thug, he plays bad guy, he plays good guy, he plays general, he plays grunt. What a range George Kennedy had. So who do we get to play Hookman?
I'm going to say, what is his name? He played Daryl's brother in The Walking Dead. Big guy. He was in Psych. Same thing. Character actor. He's played good guys, bad guys.
Needs to be a big imposing fellow.
He's a big imposing fellow, and he had his hand cut off in The Walking Dead. so he could even pull it off. I'm telling you, he could pull it off. What is his name?
I
world
think
may never
like
know.
John Goodman, I think would be funny.
Oh,
John Goodman?
he's too heavy. The hook scene, it would just pop right off.
Funny.
Oh no, he's too
I think
heavy.
We can
it'd be
work that
good.
out.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that concludes our discussion of Charade. We hope you've enjoyed it. We hope you've enjoyed our feature tonight. I'm Jim Lenze, really, and we'll see you next time on Public Pictures Theater.